Hello guys, welcome back. Just so you know, we are switching over to the Switch here and the Switch Online app. Alright, well, what are we doing back here? Well, the second quest. So, as you can see, this does not have the file that we've been playing on, so how are we going to get to the second quest? Simply registering our name as Zelda will immediately set us to the second quest. Give me a second here. And there's the sword. Alrighty, so let's begin. Alright, this round will not have nearly as many bios as the last one, as there's only one new unique enemy. So we're gonna go straight to the first dungeon and do exactly like we did the last time. Alrighty. I will tell you the difficulty curve in this particular quest is nowhere near as, so for lack of a better word, stable as the last one. Personally, I think that the first dungeon is the hardest dungeon in this particular quest. So if I die anywhere, it'll actually be in the first dungeon, I would say. Other than that, there's not much different here except for the dungeon layout are completely different. Most of the dungeons are in different areas. Most of the items are in different areas. And we'll be covering the all the secrets of the game, just like I did on the first quest. And we'll be getting all of the pieces of heart but one. Once we beat the I think the fourth dungeon. Yeah, I think we need to get through 4. Yes, and before we can get to. Because the 5th dungeon holds the item we'll need to get the last one. Alrighty. Ooh. May die here very shortly. So I figured we could use this quest to discuss some of the kind of lore in that of the series as of right now. So what we need to understand. So things that are going on here is Hyrule is in a lesser state than in most games in the series by this point. Oh, now that we got the boomerang here in the first room, and this is the only item of the dungeon. There is no item of dungeon 1 like the last time where we had the bow and arrow. But sorry, getting back to the actual dungeon, to the lore itself. This is Lesser Hyrule. And of course, right as I would have killed the enemy. So this is Lesser Hyrule. And in Lesser Hyrule, we are actually not saving Princess Zelda the First. If you look up the Hyrule Historial, you'll find out that you're actually saving Princess Zelda the Second. And before you go, what? Why would we be saving 2 and 1? That will make much more sense when we cover Zelda 2 after we finish Zelda 1. Oh boy. I am not playing very well today at all. Oh well. Oh, these guys got a new little attack, just so you know. Beam swords themselves. So when they can launch off the Master Sword, the full health beam swords that we can launch off when at full health. And that's what happened right there. So everything in this game is like twice as difficult in round 1 as it used to be. So if you find yourself dying in the second quest, it's nothing to be ashamed about. This first dungeon especially, I feel like really upped the difficulty of the game. But I find that after this, the rest of the dungeons really aren't that difficult, especially the second dungeon. I thought, honestly, the second dungeon is... Oh boy, I didn't realize that. They do 2 hearts of damage now. It's comparable to how I would have felt... There we go. This gives us the compass. Notice it seems like in a similar location, but it's not. This is actually going to be a much different layout, actually. Yeah. Wow, I am playing terrible. I know this is a difficult dungeon, but I am playing terrible today. We're getting back. Okay, so story so far. Princess Zelda II, knowing that she was going to be kidnapped again by Ganon, dropped the Triforce of Wisdom into 8 shards and hit it across Hyrule. Okay, so that much we know there. But we don't really know much about who's Princess Zelda the First then. She's going to be important for Zelda 2, forgive me for the spoilers. And it also is going to explain a couple of other things. Zelda 2 is the black sheep of the series, but it really actually sets the format almost for the rest of the series. As much as it might be the black sheep, arguably might be one of the most important games in the series for the sake of actually the groundwork, actually. It might be as important. I cannot play today at all. I am playing with a C-stick, so I might blame it on the C-stick. But where was it? Story-wise, Zelda 2 sets up the formula almost as much as formula-wise Zelda 3 sets up, or how much Ocarina of Time will set up how the game will play in 3D. But most people won't play Zelda 2 because they know that it has the black sheep, and they know that that game makes this game look like a cakewalk. And I'm not going to deny that it really does. That game is much harder than this game. I can beat it though. For some reason I can't beat this one today. Alright, let me focus here for a second because I've died in this room so many times. For those of you who remember my journey through Dungeon 2 would know that this is one of my least favorite enemies in the entire game. Not just here in this particular dungeon. I'm just really bad against this. I do well against the archer ones. For some reason it's just the boomerang ones. There we go. And it gives you bombs, which is going to make a lot of sense later. Because here's kind of the weird thing here. We don't have a stepladder, so we can't actually operate that room in full. So to get there, we're actually going to have to clear out this room and go through that locked door so we can get the map. Do get money here because you're going to want the blue ring as soon as possible. And as you can see, Dodongo is just the sub-boss here. A single Dodongo is the sub-boss to Dungeon 1 already. I'm going to try to get the... Nope. Alrighty, and Dodongo is now dead. Drops the fairy, and we can finally get the map. Alright, so remember, the last one was the eagle. Now it's the letter E. I'm going to show each room of this dungeon, however, you don't actually need to see each room. So what we're about to do is actually unnecessary. I'm just going to kind of show it just so that you can see what those rooms have to offer and maybe get a couple of rubies. These guys do love to drop rubies. Getting back to the timeline, this is in the destroyed Hyrule state, or the fallen hero timeline, depending on how you want to phrase it. So that means, I will get into more details of what that means when we get to Ocarina of Time, as that's the game that will define the timeline. The timeline split is based off of that game. Not something all fans necessarily are the happiest with, but it is what Nintendo's going with right now, so I'm not going to argue with them. If you have a physical copy of the Historia, please note that it is out of date timeline wise, and I don't just mean with Breath of the Wild coming out. They did change the location of a couple of games in the Fallen Hero timeline, which is why I'm mentioning it right now. 'Cause that's mentioning it right now. Yep. So we're missing a key, as you can see. So what do? That's right. The key is dropped by Wall Masters, of all things. Unlike Dungeon 1, where Wall Masters were optional fighting, this one, you gotta fight the Wall Masters. And just like in that one, they're a royal pain to hit, and they threw bubbles into it because they knew how much of a pain this is. And people say, originally, if you want to not get the map, it makes this room a lot easier. Because if you don't get the map, you won't waste the key. I'm sorry, I'm a bit focused right now, trying not. Alright, there we go. Summon the Wall Master. Wow, fudge. I hit the wall, but I hit a bubble. There we go. And there's the key. Alrighty, so what do they have next? These guys. Honestly, just bomb the wall. I'm a dead man. There we go. Did not want to go in. Yeah, it's still this guy. Yes, I'm still gonna die to him because, well, I still stink at this fight without beam sword. Alright. So let's rush through this, shall we? Alrighty. Up. To the right. I'll meet you guys back up at the boss, actually. Alrighty, welcome back. Sorry about that. Just easier. Figured you don't need to see me just go through the same dungeon again. As we beat the first boss again. The bosses are remixed. Alrighty, that's every room and every item of Dungeon 1. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys for the next video where we'll be tackling Dungeon 2.